guys, and welcome back to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend. It means only one thing. It's time for our weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and well, any other FPGA gaming news out there that's worth reporting. After that, we will move over to some random and retro gaming stuff. Now, timestamps have been made available, so use those to navigate your way around the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. If you wish to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon set up. Before we begin, guys, let's check out the sponsor of the weekly news show, Zapparoo, an awesome NFC project that does a whole lot more than just NFC. And finally, guys, don't forget to check out FPC, London's best arcade. Many of you guys are aware, no doubt I mention it every week, Metal Game Solid, the website. This is where you can get retro gaming news as well as FPGA gaming news and interesting stories that we kind of hand select. There's a lot on there, but what's interesting now is we have a dedicated Metal Game Solid YouTube channel. Now what we've started with is we've started with a video, we've called it Retro 168, and it's what happened in the last week on the website. Every single story covered, we're just going through it, talking about it, what we like, what we dislike, and just sharing our thoughts. Now, we understand people like to digest news in different ways. Some people like watching the weekly news video, some people like to read articles, and some people like to listen to it. So even though you can watch this video, we are going to put a podcast up on Spotify so you can just listen to what happened in the week. Maybe if you're commuting, exercising, or whatever. What I'm saying is there's different options out there for you guys. So go show the channel some love. Please subscribe to it. It really does help out. And later on today, not sure what time this video is going to release, but 4 PM UK time, guys, I have the legendary theypsilon, also known as Jose BG. This is MiSTer Update Tool. If you've used the MiSTer FPGA and you use Update Tool, this is the person, this is the brains behind it. That's going to be a live stream with me and Jose having like a conversation. If you've got any questions about Update Tool or anything in general, come into chat, ask us, and we will indulge. I'm really looking forward to that. It says on the little YouTube counter there 5 hours, so hey, I better get on with this weekly news video. Yo, cowabunga peeps. Now, if you are a Jotego Patreon supporter, definitely check out the JT Riders Core because it has a new beta release in there, which is this game over here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, or as I like to call it, TMNT Tit, because everyone likes tits. Anyway, guys, it's available now. It's available via Update Tool, provided you are a Jotego Patreon supporter. It's available for the MiSTer FPGA, that's the footage you're seeing here. It's available for the Analogue Pocket as well as the CD128. Now, the reason this core was not released sooner is because Furtek was reverse engineering every single chip on this core, and there was just one chip left, which was the copyright protection chip. Unfortunately, Furtek has left reverse engineering work, at least for now. We certainly hope he returns. So as that happened, Jotego decided to take a different approach on that last chip. So we do have a beta released. Do try it out, have some fun with it, and yeah, cowabunga peeps, don't use drugs. Jotego in his latest Patreon post does go on to explain that he does realize and acknowledge that the JT Riders Core has been in beta for a long time, but as explained, he was waiting for Furtek to finish work on that custom chip, the copyright protection chip. But now that TMNT2 has been implemented to some degree, and hopefully we'll see some improvements in that, there's another game that should be coming up next on this core, and it's Premier Soccer. I've never played this game. In fact, the first time I'm seeing anything of this game is when I actually ran this little video clip, and I have to say, it looks kind of alright. We had a really good game released from Wicca Wacka recently on, what was it, Dream Soccer on Taito. Really good, and this kind of looks fun as well. So kind of looking forward to this, and hopefully once this is done, if there's no more games left, we can see a public release of the JT Riders Core. With it, it will bring all the games like, well, Sunset Riders, TMNT2 Tit, and Premier Soccer, among others. Golfing Greats was another recent release. Let's talk about the other fixes from Jotego and his team. So some games had their attract mode music turned off by default. Now the MRAs have been updated now, so the sound is back on, because let's face it, guys, when we were kids, we went to the arcade as you were walking past the arcade, sometimes you could hear the sound blasting out. I still remember hearing the elephants from the housing stage on Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, the CPS1 hardware. The elephant sounds attracted you into the arcade. They sounded awesome. But the games that have been fixed here as part of the CPS1 core are Captain Commando, Knights of the Round Table, King of Dragons, Magic Sword, and Nemo. The other fixes that Jotego mentions are for the JT Ping Pong, the ping pong game, that core there. So in this case, some dip switches were not mapped correctly. That is now fixed too. And finally guys, some sound fixes for Gridiron, likely again the attract mode being turned off. So some nice fixes from Jotego and team. Always do love the attention to detail and the commitment to maintaining old games. Interesting about this, so a 4K MiSTer I/O board is in the works and it looks like it's gaining some traction, and we may well see this in the future. So this isn't something where an upscaler is being used. It's not a separate upscaler, but it's actually a board that goes on top of your DE10 Nano and it outputs in 4K natively as part of the DE10 Nano that you're carrying around, your MiSTer, all in the case, no external devices. Now, I did see somewhere on Discord that the target price for this is around $200, and it's been very well received. A lot of people have said, just sign me up for it. They would just love to have something attached to their MiSTer, something that's part of their MiSTer that will output to 4K. So there's been some chatter about this. Company behind it are Pixel Effects, behind the product like the More 4K, and let's have a look here. So they've kind of talking about this here on their X account, but if we have a look at the newsletter, in the newsletter they're talking that this does actually use the same tech as the More 4K. So really interesting. Let's see how this goes. A lot of you guys really want it. I always say it, I'm still a very happy 1080p gamer, but I do understand a lot of people want those want that visual sharpness. They've upgraded everything to 4K and that's what they want. So keep an eye on this, keep an eye on Pixel FX over on X. Maybe you want to join their Discord server, but yeah, this may be happening. So if you want a 4K MiSTer, it might be becoming a reality. The Sega Saturn for the MiSTer FPGA. This is a core that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite cores on the system. Now what happens is there are plenty of updates for this, but they are always unstable updates. What that means is you need to download or you need to install an updated version, an unstable version of the MiSTer operating system. You need to manually download the latest unstable cores for both the Sega Saturn and the STV to kind of enjoy and profit from these. Now there are custom scripts that can use that make it easier. I actually do use them, but most of you guys, or a lot of you guys, just want what's available via update tool, and I get that. You want the ease of use, you don't want to dabble, and you kind of think you might break something. There's a good chance you won't break something, but I get it. But what's really good news now is it's actually been updated via update tool. So update tool has a version of the core that's like a week old or something. I think last Saturday's video, this may have come out like the Saturday I finished this video, or maybe the Sunday. So you've got a very good and a very new version of the Saturn core. I think it was like 6 months maybe even when we got the last update. So this is a big update, guys, for anyone that uses update tool, especially as well as the Saturn side. You've got an update to the STV side, so there's brilliant games on the STV. Some games are very similar. There's different soundtracks. There are some differences. Just fantastic systems. I absolutely love this core. The developer SRG320 always says that the core's not as accurate as original hardware. There's still a way to go before it reaches 100% accuracy. But honestly, you play it, you tell me if you don't have a fun time. I'm more interested to find out from guys that actually have a Sega Saturn, that how much different is it like, because I never really played the Saturn. I love this core, I love playing games on it, and when it comes down to having fun, the fun is there. So if you haven't run updates all already, run it and enjoy the updated Saturn and STV core. Thunder in paradise, guys. The Philps CDI core has received a major big update. Now this isn't something that's available via update tool. It's not even posted in the unstable nightlies or the test build channel. In order to get this, you need to go to the MiSTer cores kind of channel or section and go into the specific channel for Philps CDI. Now if you check out this video, I'll try and link it in the description. If not, it's the last live stream I did. If you check the pinned comment on there, I have left a direct link to where you can get this core from. On the whole, guys, I did this live stream yesterday. I had a lot of fun. Slammy, the actual core developer, mad props to him, was actually in chat, engaging with people, answering questions. So it really was a fun stream. Is the CDI a great system? Absolutely not, man. Well, maybe it's a great system. There's not that many good games for it. But the thing is, did I have fun playing it? Yes, absolutely. That's something that I really like with the MiSTer. It's introducing me to systems that I knew about growing up, but I never really played. And it's got some interesting titles on there. It's got like a lot of these kind of video, kind of game hybrid type of things. It's got stuff like Space Ace and Dragon's Lair, a whole heap of fun out there. If you want to find out more about it, there is an article over on Metal Game Solid that Anime Otaku wrote yesterday, and in that article he's put in some of the changes, some of the things that are in there. But guys, this is it's a system that's very much worth trying. Hotel Mario, it's not the best Mario, it's probably one of the worst Mario games out there, but it does kind of play. So yeah, the stream was a lot of fun yesterday. I recommend anyone that's interested in trying out new systems, or anyone that had a CDI, to play it. Just play this stuff out. It's worth doing at least once. At least that way you know whether you're going to like it, whether you want to see it again. Yeah, so big shout out to Slammy. Love your work, dude. Absolutely amazing. Slammy is a self-confessed crazy person for doing this core, and I could not agree more. However, amazing stuff for preservation. In this section, we're going to talk about the SuperStationOne, but this question here was quite interesting from Rich W, because they are buying or they want to buy a MiSTer FPGA, or in particular the SuperStationOne, in order to get the 3DO core, because they are crazy about it. They also heard there is a 3DO core, so they are asking if they can extend or expand the RAM on the SuperStationOne. So guys, like Taki Udon answers down here, it's not possible to add more SD RAM. Quite simple. So if you're buying a SuperStationOne, just understand that there may not be any way to upgrade it. It will be a single SD RAM MiSTer FPGA unit. Now, I pretty much exclusively use my MiSTer FPGA, the single SD RAM version. I use the dual SD RAM version occasionally to do some testing. If there's a particular test core that's working on dual RAM, just to kind of mess around with, but I am generally happy with my single SD RAM. I do enjoy having digital and analog outputs on there. Now, Rich W, you've heard right, but you've also heard wrong. The 3DO core is something that's being worked on by SRG320, the developer of cores like the Sega Saturn. It's not something that has been released, and I don't know if it's been confirmed that if it does come out, or when it does come out, sorry, it will be on a dual SD RAM MiSTer, or a MiSTer with additional SD RAM, rather than single SD RAM. What does usually happen when a new core comes out, often they are working with dual SD RAM, and eventually they get optimized, they get worked on, bugs get fixed, the resources that are required are reduced, and they do eventually come to single SD RAM. You know, examples of that, a good example of that is actually the Sega Saturn core, the Atari Jaguar kind of work in progress test build core. We're all looking forward to the 3DO core when it drops from SRG 320, but as it stands now, Richard W, if you were to buy a MiSTer FPGA and you got it delivered tomorrow to your house, you will not have a 3DO core. That's something that's up and coming. So maybe if you want to play on the safe side, the SuperStationOne isn't for you. Maybe buy a dual SD RAM MiSTer. There's different options out there. They might not be as cheap as buying a SuperStationOne, but the options are definitely there. And another thing I wanted to have a look at over here, this interesting Reddit post here from Jamie, J-M-I-I, almost look like Jimmy there, and that goes to show when you see jumbled up letters, your brain just rearranges them. SuperStation dock price 45. So people were wondering what the price was. I think Taki said give or take around 40, and it is around that price. I think people got a like a pre-order taken out for that, a deposit of $5. Well, look, there you go, it's $45 now, and this person here, man, got a deal on the SuperStationOne. $149.99. That is crazy cheap, guys. And then the Super Dock's $195. That's pretty freaking cheap, man. 39 postage, that's obviously worldwide, but no taxes there. So that's quite a bargain there in total. So if anyone wondering how much you're going to get charged for your Super Dock, it looks like 45. So Jamie, thank you very much for sharing. Let me just upvote that. Let's talk a little bit about the MiSTer Multi-System 2, but we're not specifically gonna talk about the MiSTer Multi-System 2 itself, but the guys over at Hervieux said that they are going to be making accessories for this. They're going to be making a whole lot of other equipment for the MiSTer Multi-System 2 ecosystem. Now, the MiSTer Multi-System 2, even though I don't have one, people that I know and I trust have only spoken highly of it. In fact, one of you people that I know and trust, I need you guys, someone that has a MiSTer Multi-System 2 to run a test for me on the device, because I'm comparing the NES core across different MiSTers. So if you've got one, give me a shout, reach out. I just need you to run a core, run a test ROM on there and literally film the process for 1 minute. If you don't have a capture card, no problem, you can film it on a mobile phone, but do reach out. But let's have a look at this. So one of the things that the MiSTer Multi-System 2, the Hervieux team, are making is they are making like a JAMMA version of the MiSTer Multi-System 2, from what I recall, like a standalone thing. I don't know if they're doing like a separate JAMMA thing, but they're making a standalone MiSTer Multi-System 2 which will have like JAMMA connectivity, and you can see the board down there. Another thing that they did say as well is they haven't built the enclosure for the JAMMA attachment yet, or the JAMMA MiSTer FPGA MiSTer Multi-System 2, and they are open to feedback. So if you've got any ideas, reach out to Hervieux, reach out to Richard, tell him, hey, I think this would be good on an enclosure. I really don't know much about this stuff, and the reason for that is I don't actually have space for an arcade machine in the house, so I don't really have any of the JAMMA stuff. I've never really dabbled with it, so when I'm talking about it, I am talking about it like an ignorant person. But I know a lot of you guys have arcade machines and you like stuff like the MiSTercade. Many of you guys have that in your arcade machine setups with your MiSTer. Well, this might be a good alternative or a good choice to it, especially if you're ordering the MiSTercade from the USA and you're in the UK or Europe and it's costing you a lot in delivery and customs and tariffs. Maybe you can buy one from the UK. For the MiSTer Multi-System 2, it might be a little bit more cost effective. So over here we can see that is Paperboy. Road blasters here, and kind of showing off that JAMMA board, some other stuff here, and finally this bit over here, this is so they're going to make a series of controllers with it, and this is the trackball with 3 buttons. So interesting stuff. But most importantly, guys, if you want some input, if you're an arcade guy, you've got a Multi-System 2, or you want to buy a Multi-System 2 and you want to chip your ideas to Hervieux and tell them this is something that I felt has always lacked when it comes to JAMMA, can you add this to it, or this is what an enclosure needs, then your feedback is welcome. Reach out to Hervieux, they want to hear from you. But interesting stuff. I'm liking the MiSTer Multi-System 2. I'm liking the direction it's headed in, and I do like all this extra stuff that they're doing and they're planning. They've definitely listened to feedback, because previously when they were making proprietary snack adapters, people said, well, we've got snack adapters, can you not just make one adapter where we can input our existing ones? And they listened, and they've given you like a universal kind of adapter where your original snack adapters can plug into that. So yeah, good work from them. Nice to see this kind of innovation, different products being added to the MiSTer Multi-System 2 line of products. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you think. And a big shout out to ChuckleVision. If you know ChuckleVision, let me know in the comments. No, Amiga Vision, they tweeted this, and let's give this a read before we look more into this. This is really, really interesting. So MiSTer plus Zapparoo plus voice control with recommendations across your specific games library. So Amiga Vision have put this on my radar, but then, okay, this is the video in here. So what this does essentially is, well, you can launch games via your voice. So maybe if I put a command in like, Luke, I am your father, like it can launch like a Star Wars game or something, right? Or maybe if I go Hadouken, it launches Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. The possibilities are endless. Is this something I want to try? Probably not, because what will happen, I'll go like Cowabunga to launch Turtles in a loud voice, and a flying slipper will come in my head from my wife slapping me saying I'm making too much damn noise. But there's a Reddit post here as well from the developer Alexander Magia. I made an app that controls your MiSTer with voice commands, looking for feedback. So there you go, looking for feedback if you want stuff there. Now you need an iOS device for it, but people have said, are you making it for Android? They've said, look, fill out the form that's available if you want it for Android. If enough people are interested in there, then he will make it for Android. Sounds really, really freaking cool. A big shout out to everyone that's involved, because it's MiSTer, it's Zapparoo, and it's this voice control. And again, it goes to show how freaking good the Zapparoo project is. People use the Zapparoo API, the Zapparoo work by Wizzo and his team for many different things. And now guess what? You can launch MiSTer games via voice. And again, this just goes towards the accessibility sides. It may be easier for someone that may have a disability, and they can launch stuff easier via their voice, you know. So it's really, really cool to see this stuff. Just great innovation. So do check it out if anyone does kind of get on with it. I mean, maybe I'll do a video on this. I'm not sure. It sounds really interesting, like just kind of talking to my MiSTer, right, and getting it to launch the game. So yeah, interesting stuff. In this section, I just want to talk about unstable core updates. Now, there have been a few in the last week, actually not a heap of different cores, but we've had 5 unstable nightly updates for the NES, and we've had 1 for the SNES. And over here, you're probably wondering, why am I showing you the screen? This is actually Accuracy Coin, a test, like a test ROM, a tool from Accuracy Coin that goes through 128 different checks on the NES emulator or core running, and it gives you a score out of 128, whether you pass or whether you fail. And I'm kind of writing that in here, and I'm hoping I can talk enough to keep you interested. This is the MiSTer core that was released, the test build that was released on the 5th of October 2025, and we're nearly there. Okay, look at that. The MiSTer core, the latest test builds are getting 128 out of 128. It is as accurate as you can get a NES, and I kind of showed you this because I wanted to emphasize, if you want to try the latest and the greatest, try the unstable cores. So this week we've had 5 unstable test build updates for the NES, and we've had 1 for the SNES. And a congratulations to MiSTer Organize, which, like the name suggests, is a service or some software that's made available for your MiSTer FPGA that well keeps it organized. And what I mean by organized is it's got different genres, different categories. You can like have a category for SNES music. It does all of that for you. You need to provide the raw ROMs, and then what you do is you use their software and other software in a combination of that, and you get all these categories on your MiSTer FPGA. Now, I tried it. I had these guys over for a live stream Q&A, and I did kind of like it, but in all honesty, I've gone back to my old micro SD card because I like the chaos the way I organize it. However, if you do want your game in genres, by year, by type, and you want to be able to get to them different ways, and you want them all indexed correctly, it's a good way of finding games as well. Consider using the product that MiSTer Organize provide. But just wanted to put these guys in here. I know they work really hard. They really believe in the service they provide, and I guess congratulations to them for being around for a year. I saw this X post here from Pirko, who's an excellent core developer for the MiSTer FPGA. He's done a number of cores before. Now over here he says, it seems one of these documents might contain the full source code of the TMS 7000 microcode. Does anyone know where I can find the microcode listing? The TMS 7000 micro architecture, the TMS 7000 microcode development user guide, and the TMS 7000 micro assembler. So guys, if you can help Pirko, or you know where you can find what he is looking for, then reach out either to me and I'll reach out to Pirko, or just reach out to Pirko directly via X, go onto his account and just answer his query. This is really interesting from Totally Fury, and they are working on it looks like, well, a JAMMA attachment, or a way to get JAMMA working on your Analogue Pocket so you can use it in and on your arcade machine. So over here he says, finally got JVS board chaining working, multiple IO boards from a single cable, support up to 4 players with more to come. Absolutely fantastic. And we've got some 4-player games on the Analogue Pocket, so it'd be great. Imagine that, you're like, yeah, I got my Analogue Pocket, let me just stick it in the arcade machine, and boom shakalaka, we are playing arcade via the Analogue Pocket. So over here, another tweet from Totally Fury, wiring my NBA Jam tournament cabinet with 2 JVS to JAMMA to play 4-player Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Unfortunately, the screen chassis is out of service. At least IO board chaining is working. So let's have a look at this, and let's have a look at this. And let's have a look at this. Okay, really, really cool. So you got NBA Jam up there, man. NBA Jam, as far as I'm concerned, is the best basketball game out there. I've played others, they might be better, but this is the one that had, this is one I have nostalgia for in particular on the SNES. So good stuff. Still nice to see everyone tinkering around with stuff, and you know, stuff still happening with the Analogue Pocket. And this is in conjunction, by the way, guys, with the Analogizer. Okay, grog, whatever you are, translate this post. So this is from P-Gate1, guys. P-Gate1 is the developer that's working on bringing PlayStation 1 to the Analogue Pocket, as well as that they've worked on multiple cores of their own. So here they are. Oh, a transistor level NES emulator. I wonder how fast it runs. Seems like an FPGA implementation is coming soon too. So this is really interesting. This is the tweet that they quoted, and it says there is a NES emulator that simulates the behavior of individual transistors of the semiconductors, not cycle level, not even gate level. This is transistor level. And guys, this looks interesting. So yes, it will be great to see if we get an FPGA core of this. Sorry, I did like and retweet P-Gates one. I'm pretty sure I did. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay, but let's do the original source as well. So really, really interesting here. Share your thoughts about this. This has gained a lot of traction on X. It kind of makes me think, is this like, you know, when we got the Nuki KT Mega Drive reverse engineered stuff, and that got implemented in the core, and that all automatically became the best core for the MiSTer FPGA when it comes to the Mega Drive. Is this something that's going to benefit the NES? Earlier on, when we looked at the unstable updates, we ran a test that passed the current test scores of the NES on the MiSTer FPGA to 100% accuracy. So I wonder what else this is going to add. Feel free to educate me, enlighten me, but this is very, very exciting and interesting news. And this is something I've had my eye on for some time. And First Squadron, guys, like, this looks really good. I'm pretty sure I've done an article on this on Metal Game Solid, but it very much so looks like Star Fox. And Star Fox, especially the Star Fox 64 version, one of my favorite one in the series. I never really played the original one on the SNES too much. Yeah, I like it when I played it, but the N64 one is fantastic, guys. And this really does look like a modern version of it. The lock-on, the aesthetics, everything about it, and even the characters, guys, they've really gone down that way. So this was them saying that there's going to be like a demo out for it, and heading over to the Steam page, the demo is available. I don't think I'm logged in, so I do want to check this later. I do want to check the demo, and yeah, hopefully I can do a review on this at some point. I'm going to reach out to the developer. I really do like this. But in the meantime, guys, if you do want to try this out, wish list on Steam. I'm gonna do that as soon as I log in. I'm not logged in, and I'm not going to share my credentials with you guys, but yeah, it looks really good. If you like Star Fox, then yeah, you want to check out First Squadron Phoenix. It looks fantastic. And a shout out to Philly, the guy that always just sends me messages when there's new merch around. So I can pretty much imagine Phil actually just dressing up head to toe in Street Fighter gear. So what do we have here? We've got a Street Fighter Christmas jumper. Now, I know at my work, they always encourage us, hey, you know what? We got Christmas jumper day. I have never partaken in it, and I never intend to. But if I ever did, this may well tempt me. So we've got Ken and Ryu Hadoukening a snow crystal, and it looks kind of good. So hey, if you want to be the cool guy at your work Christmas jam, then maybe you want to go with this Street Fighter jumper. Priced at $38.99 in the UK. And as you can see, it looks just as good on females as it does on males. Guys, this brings us to the end of this week's episode. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. Don't forget to check out metalgamesolid.com for up-to-date information in written form during the week. Anyway, guys, be super duper awesome to one another. I'll see you guys around. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.